fast, or we're going to see something a little bit longer. And judging by game number 1, and judging by the fact that there aren't any probes out on the map right now, the gateways are in the appropriate bases. We may be in for a little bit longer PvP. The other thing too is things like blink stalkers aren't as good on this map because it's harder to blink up into the main, and to a certain extent DTs too aren't quite as common because it's a little bit easier to sort of block the ramp and see it coming and keep your main safe. So generally we see this map played a little bit more straight up.
Interesting. So with the limited options in terms of mobility for blink stalkers and the Dark Templar being a little bit more unfeasible, do we see more airplay on this map in PvP typically, or just
certainly.
straight up gateway?
I mean, we do see a lot of Stargates just in general in PvP right now. We saw one last game from Alicia, and so that's a distinct possibility, I think, for each of these players. And, you know, despite, too, what I mentioned about blink play being a little bit more difficult, it certainly doesn't stop players from doing it sometimes. We do see it every once in a while, but judging, you know, I mean, if you look at this map and then you look at other maps, it's a little bit trickier to get the stalkers in the base as easily. You have to kind of be a little bit more deceptive about how you go about it, but honestly, if anyone's going to be able to do that, it's going to be sOs. So as the cybernetics cores finish up, we're going to get to see a little bit more about what these players are planning. Will it be just a second gateway, or are we going to see some tech? And I think we're going to see tech from both players at this point.
Excellent. Well,
ooh, they both start sentries, too. That's actually interesting.
Well, here we go, Alicia. Getting a little scouting probe. Both players playing ring around the base.
Yeah.
And the Zealot dutifully chasing them down.
We may actually see a quicker expanse from each player, too. That is an option. Alicia, though, again, going with that Stargate up at the top left part of the map. And we're still waiting to see what sOS's plan is. He's got a lot of resources saved up.
So that's Stargate coming out first. Alicia tending to go more towards the Stargate play in this series.
Yeah, it is really popular.
Popping out that Oracle first and then moving into a Phoenix and a Void Ray.
Yeah. So
last game.
We did see a one-gate expand from sOs, which used to be just completely suicidal in this matchup, but as things have sort of changed, it's been a little bit more doable, a little bit more likely. There was an FXO player that was doing one-gate expands in Wings of Liberty, but he was like really one of the only people that was doing it. I can't remember his name. He was actually a player coach that ended up being a pretty good Protoss player, a pretty good PvPer. Started with an I, but for some reason the name escapes me right now, so forgive me, guys. But it's something that we didn't see a lot in Wings of Liberty, but it is something that we're seeing a bit more in Heart of the Swarm now.
All right, well, it will be a robotics facility for sOs as Alicia decides on Phoenixes.
I think we're going to see pretty quick Colossi probably from sOs here, too. That's generally the way to sort of keep things safe. But yeah, Alicia has a good opportunity if he, you know, continues to chrono boost out Phoenixes to do a good amount of harassment too, because sOs is not going to have a lot of stalkers. He's only going to be able to really put the photon overcharge on one nexus at a time. So these Phoenixes could get a bit annoying for sOs to deal with later on.
Well, Robo now down for Alicia as well. So he stopped Phoenix production at least for the moment.
Yeah.
There we go.
Not a lot of defense, honestly, for that Mothership core. The sentries don't do a lot. He could come back in and try to take this out. In fact, I think that's probably what we're going to see. And he's just going to expand, too. All right. Yeah.
So pretty cautious play so far. Measured play this game. There are the two Phoenixes from Alicia. See if they get some free hits on this Mothership core, and they will. Forces a couple Stalkers to get warped in right there. And the photon overcharge to go down.
That's a win right there for Alicia. Even if he didn't kill the Mothership core, forcing all the energy out of it really does kind of limit sOS's options too. I mean, he probably wasn't planning on moving across the map and having to kind of recall back or anything like that, but no time warp, no recall, no energy on that Mothership core for a little while. So it's nice just to kind of keep the energy a bit lower on it.
Fair enough. Alicia starting that Immortal production again. His preference last game. And double gas now for sOs. Forge as well.
Yeah.
So it looks like sOs wanting really to play this long game right here, wanting to get that expand, wanting to tech up a bit.
sOs thinks he's playing PvT, man. Going one gate expand into Robo with a Forge. Creator Prime would be proud, but this is not PvP. This is PvP, actually. It's not PvT. I'm just losing my mind apparently right now. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see kind of how the upgrades come into play, and we're still kind of waiting for Alicia to really get things going on his side. He does have that Robo, but not a whole lot else right now, just using a lot of money to get those probe counts up. Will he throw down a Forge too? Because he has scouted everything SOS has. Oh, a Stargate coming up for SOS.
Interesting. Right as he goes for the +1 as well.
Yeah.
And Alicia using this time to continue probing up. There we go.
Well, we definitely see, I mean, a big part of why Alicia got those Phoenixes was to just scout. I mean, we talked about it before the match started. Alicia really needs to be aware of what SOS is doing all the time, if possible. And I don't think he's scouted this Stargate quite yet. But we'll see. He's chasing down that Observer, and that's going to be a nice benefit of having the Phoenixes as well with the Robos, that he can chase down Observers and kind of deny that from SOS a little bit. But Alicia going for Colossi, where SOS is going for that Stargate. Now, if Alicia doesn't scout this and starts to go heavily into Colossi, and SOS adds on some Void Rays and has those upgrades, that Colossus army is not going to stand a chance.
Well, with both players hallucinating Phoenixes as well as Alicia actually having 3 of them, I think everybody is in the know right now. And cannon's starting to go up inside SOS's base, going to give him a little bit extra protection. And it knocks down the rocks to his 3rd right there, and there's an Oracle as well from SOS. So adding in an Oracle this late in the game.
What a crazy, man, this is just crazy by SOS. I mean, to go for an Oracle while there are Phoenixes out, but I'm telling you, man, Alicia does not know about the Stargate yet. He has not scouted it as far as I can tell from looking at the vision here on the map. And SOS taking this 3rd as well. Alicia, I think, honestly, the last thing he's going to be expecting is going to be this Oracle. And we just saw Fleet Beacon finish for SOS as well. What in the world is he thinking? Oh, the Phoenixes move away right as the Oracle comes by.
So there we go. We may be moving into Tempest for SOS.
Well, there's a Twilight Council going now, too. Like, there is a Tempest coming out, but SOS kind of just going for everything here.
Very interesting. SOS busting out the Tempests as he takes a 3rd. So this Oracle riding the top of the map right now, coming around the side. Let's see if he can get any kind of harassment done.
This is so interesting,
Alicia. It's maybe just to buy time right here. Alicia also taking his 3rd base.
Yeah. Oracle coming in now for SOS.
Ooh.
Will Alicia be prepared? He could lose a decent amount of workers to this. You usually kill about a dozen on 1 charge from the Oracle. If you're completely unopposed, that is.
Here he comes in, swooping around into the main base.
Yeah, he's going to see that Templar Archives, but he's going to kill a lot of probes.
Starts going after the probes. Queuing up a bunch for destruction. A couple Stalkers now joining the fray, but he's going to get a bunch for his trouble right here before the Oracle goes down.
Wow, I think he killed 9 or 10. At the very end, it was 9. Yeah, that was a pretty successful Oracle, guys. That is really annoying. I mean, obviously with 3 bases, you can replenish your probes very quickly, but still, that's going to hinder the economy a little bit, and it's the little things in those mirror matchups that end up meaning the victory between, or the difference between victory and defeat. And right now, if you look at the supply, SOS just simply ahead on Alicia. He's been ahead macro-wise all game long.
But at the same time, Alicia going to harass the probes.
Yep.
With the Phoenixes, however, he hasn't gotten vision of this central army with these Tempests.
Let's get this straight. SOS has 2 Tempests. He had an Oracle. He's getting +1. He has a Templar Archives as well. He's getting Zealot Charge. He's just got a little bit of everything, but Charge Lot Tempest sounds like a pretty scary composition, especially if you add on Archons or, possibly Storm as well if he decides to research that. But I think this is going to be mostly for Archons and Immortals as well. So this is kind of like SOS's infinite kill anything composition. I've never seen a PvP like this before.
Well, you got to like the Tempest range to snipe those Colossi too from far away.
Oh, yeah. And, oh, look, we've got Stefano actually over on the casting couch. Definitely go check out that stream if you want to have a little bit of fun while we watch this game.
Stefano wears his sunglasses inside.
He does. That's his thing. And then he says, "Shut up, you're so stupid." That's Stefano, guys. All right, so Alicia. Oh my gosh, the feedback on those Phoenixes. The High Templars finding creative ways to take down the air army of Alicia, but here he comes. He's got Archons. He's got a Colossi. This is no small army for Alicia, but SOS already 30 supply ahead. Look at all those Immortals. Look at all the charge loss. And he's got Tempest on top of this. And I'm not 100% sure, so I apologize in advance if I'm wrong about this, but I think the Tempest may do the full air-to-air 80 damage versus massive that they have because it is against Colossi. So Alicia, yeah, I mean, he's going to turn around. This army is way too much for him to handle. I don't know how much of it he really spotted, but SOS, man, he is looking absolutely terrifying right now, guys.
And here we go, some more gateways coming down for SOS. SOS choosing to move out across the map right now. Alicia needs a little bit of a retreat right there.
Yeah.
And so SOS, is this the time to strike? Well, he does have this supply lead.
I think so, man. I mean, he's nearly maxed out, and if you're Alicia, I don't know what you do against this, man. I mean, you've gone for a normal PvP composition. He's added on some Dark Templar, but Alicia just does not have a composition that's going to fight against this very well. And he's like, what the heck? I played normally. You aren't supposed to make these units.
And here we go, a few force fields.
Can't quite trap those DTs.
And so those DTs gonna walk right on by, but an observer nearly out for SOS. He also built those extra warp gates, so he's gonna have plenty to be able to take care of this at home.
I think so too, yeah. I don't think he's terribly worried about it.
And here we go, forward pylons. SOS putting on a little aggression. Alicia has
the observer went right over top of him. Where's the warp hits here for SOS? He's going to start to lose some probes, even though he is on 3 bases. This is an issue.
4 down so far, but SOS just going to go ahead and harass from range. Look at him using that hallucination to get vision for the Tempest.
That's so smart, man. And here comes Alicia.
He's forcing a fight, but here we go. He's booked on the ramp right now. The time warps coming in from both players to lock up the front lines. But there's a lot of pressure coming from the air right now, and further reinforcements from SOS in the back. A lot of Templars joining the fray.
Man, all those Archons. The DT has killed all the probes in the main, but again, I don't think SOS is really worried about it. I think he's just going to try to go for the win right here.
And look at that, the Tempest just raining down Fury from above.
He's got to be careful with this. You can't let those Tempests get too far ahead. Not a lot of anti-air, though, either way.
Well, this Tempest still able to do work. He hasn't even lost a single one yet. Now he's moving up the ramp. He's got so many Archons. And the Immortals just dying in droves now. It looks like SOS is taking this one. GG, SOS up 2-0.
And he was right, man. That DT was just not enough at the end, but what a crazy game for SOS. He's just expanding. He's just playing super greedy, and Alicia going, you know what? I'm just going to expand as well, and I'm going to make my normal PvP unit composition, then I'm going to beat you in a macro game. And SOS, behind all this, doing such a good job of actually zoning out the Phoenixes of Alicia, not letting him scout that Stargate. He got caught completely unaware by the Oracles. I don't think he really saw the Fleet Beacon for a long time as well, too. So, again, SOS just playing so deceptively, fooling his opponents and getting the wins. I love watching this guy, and if you're Alicia, man, I feel bad for Alicia. I don't know how you would possibly play against this guy.
Very difficult and impressive, rather unique play there from SOS. And again, 4 games of PvP and showing us yet another different strategy, mixing in the Tempest this time.
It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen, man. This PvP, and he got away with being really greedy last game, but he did it in a very smart way. We'll talk more about it later, guys. Game 3 coming up after this break. Do not go anywhere.
Welcome back to the WCS Season 1 Finals. We are in our second quarterfinal of the day. It is... Whoa!
Oh, don't die, Monte Cristo.
Whoa.
It's Alicia versus SOS, and man, SOS is up 2-0. It's getting as scary for Alicia right now as it was for Monte Cristo as he almost died. It's like, I see the lights. It's like, no, man, that's just the stage lights. They're really bright, too. It's not the afterlife. It's okay.
Well,
you're still here.
You're
still
close.
with us, Monte Cristo.
That's good. Thanks for bringing me back, though.
Good, good. I've got you back. Thank goodness there was no mouth-to-mouth needed there. All right, guys, but Alicia is in trouble. He's down 0-2. And what do you do against SOS, man? I mean, we saw a little bit of the new school PvP last game. The next map is going to be Neo Planet S, and I feel like Alicia is going to need to get a bit cheesy. He's going to need to be a little bit aggressive. He's going to need to try to get in there and get a win. But, you know, it's easy for us to say from the outside. I mean, Alicia has his own feelings about the matchup, obviously. I mean, he can say, I still think my best chance is going to be playing that long game, you know, playing how I feel comfortable. But in the situation where the tournament is on the line, you have to kind of slide back into that comfort zone and be like, all right, this is just what I'm best at. This is what I'm going to need to do. And again, that scouting just needs to be there. He had really good scouting early on. And I mean, I feel like SOS to a certain extent is kind of forcing these Phoenix openings out of Alicia because Alicia just knows how important the information is to have against this player. But we'll see what he does.
Indeed. Well, we're going to be going through all three games here if necessary. It is a 2-0 lead at the moment for SOS. Alicia on your screen right now and also on the ropes a little bit. He's got to win.
Looks like he's trying not to laugh. I saw a bit of a smirk on his face. There's something funny going on in lobby chat right now.
Well, got to keep focused for this next game. Everything's on the line. And this man just a single game away from heading to the semifinals to face off against his teammate Solkey once again here at the WCS.
Yep. It's loading right now. About to move into the game. Let's do it.
Welcome to Game 3 of our second quarterfinal here at the WCS Season 1 Finals. SOS versus Alicia. Alicia, the red Protoss, representing Axiom. And the blue Protoss here on Neo Planet S at 7 o'clock will be Woongjin Stars SOS.
I was reading the Korean in the lobby chat a little bit more, and the gist of it, from what I could understand, was that they were kind of joking around with Alicia and saying, "Hey, yeah, you know, I know you lost, but it was still really entertaining. So just keep doing that." Yeah, so kind of a little bit of teasing going on, and I mean, it's cool that you see, you know, good-natured sort of like joking around from the players, even in a situation like this. It's funny, but it is also very serious, guys. This could be Axiom Alicia's last game in the tournament, so no doubt he has got something special in mind for Neo Planet S. What will it be?
And this has been such a strange map so far this tournament, resulting in mostly very long games.
Yeah, well,
so far.
It's definitely one of our bigger two-player maps, and I mean the way that the map is laid out as well kind of causes players to play a little bit more passively, not necessarily in this matchup, but in most matchups on this. And I mean, you have to be so careful because you've got this situation where it's really easy to sort of like have two armies pass each other by going around the interior of the map, and so you can get into some sort of weird base trades every once in a while. So players generally play this map pretty cautiously in matchups, and so we may see that again in PvP, but who knows? You know, with warp gates, we could see anything at any time, anywhere. Just not on the high ground if the pylons are close. But any other way, we
I'd say I'm super glad about that change.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and the fact is there's just, it's impossible to have that in the game and have the mothership core in the game. You can't have both, so.
Somehow, somewhere, the Protoss lost some technology.
That's right. They're like, Zeratul like, remember how we used to warp in on the high grounds? And the other high Templars like, no, I don't remember that. It's like, oh, okay, never mind. It's like, because I'm pretty sure there was like this hallucinated Phoenix, and then our Dark Templars would jump up in the high ground, and they'd come in that way, and the High Templars like, no, you're just imagining things, Zeratul. That never happened.
It's lost to the sands of Protoss time.
Kerrigan hit you very hard, and you lost your memory. That's what happens. Kerrigan just hit Zeratul really hard, and they forgot how to warp in on the high ground.
Tragic.
That's the answer right there, yeah. So a second gateway early on for Alicia, so he's going to have a couple extra stalkers out. I'm really curious to see what SOS has got in store for us today, and it looks like it's going to be a third pylon off to the side here, so that's probably where the tech is going to end up. And another thing, too, is when you kind of hide that third pylon a little bit when you're scouting the enemy base, that kind of makes you think a little bit. You're like, all right, where's the third pylon? Is it in their base in a different spot I didn't see? Or is it out on the map proxying something right now? So it does make you a little bit concerned once in a while. And as we saw, Alicia not getting to do a lot of scouting because the Mothership Core came out right when the probe came in.
And here we go, another early Stargate from Alicia this time around. Game 1, it was an Oracle. Game 2, it was a Phoenix coming out first. What will it be this time?
I mean, there's certain things you can take advantage of when your opponent is going Stargate consistently, and here's an example of possibly one of them from SOS. Now, this map is good for Blink Stalkers, so I've got a feeling that's probably what we're going to see coming out of that Twilight Council, but I feel kind of a little bit nervous saying that because of how often we've seen Dark Templar from SOS as well, so could really be either one of those things. I'm guessing Blink.
Well, this would be pretty similar to the first game of our series then.
Yeah. Blink generally does work against the air tech, and a little bit of a time warp. He wants to trap these stalkers.
Will he get a time warp in return from Alicia? He's still trying to chase that one stalker down, gets a few more free hits. They gotta get it just... Ooh, he's putting a pylon inside the base, however, so SOS really wants to go hard on this one. No, cancels it.
He thought he saw an opportunity, but he ended up having to back up. Now he has to protect that Mothership Core, but kind of a scary moment for Alicia. Now the question is, did that Stargate get scouted? It's going to be another Oracle from our Axiom Protoss player. See if he can actually get in and do any damage with this.
SOS does scout that forward pylon at his third, and so he'll take out that probe. He'll take out that pylon, and Blink started and getting chrono boosted out right now, but that Oracle just zipping across the map.
Yep. Oh, SOS. Is he going to actually intercept this Oracle? Oh, no, this could be bad for Alicia.
Oh, he does find the Oracle. It's taking a huge amount of damage before it even reaches the base.